am Lily. Today I'm going to read you a story, The Land of Bible, reading in Level 3C. The Land of the Bible. Okay, let's read it. The Land of the Bible. Okay, let's read it. David was 7 when he and his family moved to the village Beersheba in Israel. He would never forget that first evening, his father hand resting on his shoulder, his mother looking from across the strange, dry, rocky land. She said softly, "Home at last." Home? Home to David had been their farm in Wisconsin, with its rolling green fields and grazing cows. All he saw here was something like a desert. It was a little sad. In the years following that day, in 1948, David learned that he and his family were but one of thousands of families from many different parts of the world that had come to Israel to start a new life. His father said it was like the pilgrims landing on our shoes, but it was a small wilderness. You could drive the length of Israel from north to south in less than a day and across it from the blue Mediterranean to the Jordan River in less than 2 hours. David's father worked in the orange groves, as did most of the villagers. David was in school, learning about his new country and planting trees. He and his classmates were always planting little trees, watering them grow, and watch them grow. The desert sands would someday be green, and with more water being brought in, irrigation ditches to the dry land, there would be more grain and vegetables and fruits. Often when David's father took the village truck loaded with orange north to Haifa or south to Elta, David would go with him. Today, the oranges and the lemons and the grapefruits of little Israel go on ships to all parts of the world. When they went to Haifa, David would get to see the big cement factories. Cement is one of Israel's most important products. Funny oranges and cement. Sometimes on the way back to Beersheba, they would stop at Tel Aviv, a city with tall buildings and busy streets and sandy beaches where David could go swimming in the warm Mediterranean Sea. Once David and his parents went to the shores of the Dead Sea for a picnic. "Why is it called the Dead Sea?" David asked. Wait a second. "Why is it called the Dead Sea?" David asked. His father explained that it is called the Dead Sea because it is many times dirtier than the ocean and nothing can live in it. He also explains that the government is working on a way to take salt out of water so that all those little trees all those little trees David and his classmates planted could be watered more easily, and more of the desert could become green. As he grew older, David learned that there was trouble between Israel and its surrounding neighbors, the Arab countries of Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. And a long, long time ago, Israel was known as the land of Canaan, as all the Bibles describe a good land of brooks of water, of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees, olive and honey. It was in this land that the first Bible was written, and it was here that the Jews lived with many other peoples. The Jews had come to this good land after years of wandering. They became powerful in the land of the Canaan and conquered other tribes that lived there. But other more powerful peoples came, and many Jews were forced to leave the area. For hundreds of years, a small number of Jews lived among the Arabs and other peoples on the land, but some just never stopped believing that Canaan was their homeland and that their people would return. Finally, the great countries of the world marked out a tiny strip of Canaan, by now called Palestine, for the Jews. Much of it was a desert. In 1948, the strip of land became their nation Israel. That was when David and his family came home. After Israel was declared a nation, its people worked hard to bring more water to the land and to make more farms, orchards, and vineyards, and towns and factories. The tiny countries prospered, but there were serious problems too, and surrounding Arab countries did not want this new country in their midst. Many Arabs who lived there left the land. Some were without homes and went to live in camps for homeless people. Some remained in Israel. Worse, there fought between Arabs and Israelis, and to this day, Israel must be both workers and soldiers. Even Israeli boys and girls must know how to defend their country until peace can exist between Israel and its neighbors. Today I read the story, The Land of the Bible. The Land of the Bible. The Land of the Bible. Okay, bye.